Hello everyone, it's KrebsCOHO here. Today we're playing some War Thunder, and I've got some interesting topics that I want to talk to you guys about this time. As in every episode, I always like to have a few topics lined up, a few icebreakers. That will make the cast interesting. So this time around, we're going to be flying in some German planes, but I also want to be talking about the German planes in comparison to other factions. Most in particular, the Brit factions. So you guys have been asking me, Krebs, do you play anything else apart from the Brits? And funnily enough, yes, I have just started to dive into the Germans. I have a little bit of experience with the Americans, but nothing that I would say is tangible at the moment. So I've started playing the Germans, I've gotten up to level 5, and how do I feel about them so far? Well, I'll tell you guys in just a second here. I just want to say I don't have an authority to say what these planes are like in the higher tiers for the Germans, but I feel at the moment that the German planes in low tiers are quite underpowered in comparison to their British counterparts over here. And the reason is, I'll explain it very, very simply, is simply put, firepower and a lack of maneuverability. The things that I find really, really common with the Brit planes is that they have early access to powerful weaponry, and it seems like they have no trouble when it comes to maneuvering around the skies, apart from when using attackers, which are obviously more naturally slow at moving around in general, not only in a straight line, but, well, depending which ones. But also when they're trying to do turns, it's much longer to make a full turn than it is the fighters. But anyway, so what I'll go ahead and show you guys is some statistics here. If you go ahead and look at the German planes, I'm going to be flying in both German planes and also Brit planes, all low tiers. Let's go take a look and see what some of these stats are like. Some people say that the stats don't matter that's displayed, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I'm not exactly too sure about that. But if we are going to rely on how many guns they have, which should be accurate. I mean, if it says 2 machine guns on it, then you would hope that it would have 2 machine guns. Then you'll get a bit of a clue at the moment here. So, right from the beginning, the reserve planes for the Brits and the Germans are essentially the same. There's no real difference between them, the reserve planes. What you start noticing with the German ones, however, is that they have a lack of firepower as you go up and up and up. And it's not until around Tier 3, Tier 4, until you actually start feeling like you can make a big difference in the game. Alright, so for example, let's go take a look at some of these reserve planes. You'll notice that the weaponry, 2 machine guns, 2 machine guns, 2 machine guns, some bombs. Alright, level 1, 2 machine guns. Level 2, 2 machine guns, 2 machine guns. Level 3, 2 machine guns. And I'm just going to keep on saying 2 machine guns, 2 machine guns, 2 machine guns, because literally that is just what happens. It's not until you get to this tier over here, the HE-112, where you actually start getting cannons involved. Some higher powered MGs, or rather a higher caliber MG. So if you go ahead and take a look at that, the level 3 over here, it has 1 higher caliber MG. Okay, so fair enough, we're finally moving on to something that has higher firepower. But it's one single thing. It's one single weapon. What you notice when you're flying this, and I think we'll actually see this during the video, is that it fires in short round bursts. And one gun, while a cannon or a higher caliber MG is powerful, a single one can be a bit frustrating to use at times. It's not until Tier 4 when it starts getting a bit better. You'll notice this fighter over here has 2 cannons, also 2 machine guns as well, and also the MC-202 over here has a variety of machine guns attached to it. So 4 in total, one of them having a higher caliber, or 2 of them rather having a higher caliber. So then, at this point, it becomes a bit better. Let's go take a look at the British planes. Now this is when it's going to be getting a little bit funny. Okay, so the reserve planes, 2 machine guns, nothing to worry about here. This is when it gets a bit funny. Level 1, Gladiator, has 4 machine guns. Germans don't have anything like that. The Germans don't have 4 machine guns available to them at level 1. And I suppose it's not really that big of a nuisance when you think, oh, it's the early levels, you can easily level up. But then again, that's usually if you have a premium account. You can get through the leveling quite fast. But if you don't have a premium account, you're going to have to suffer a little bit longer. Let's go take a look at what else is going on. Level 2, 8 machine guns. Okay, I noticed that these are lower caliber, but still, it's 8 machine guns. Also, let's take a look at some other higher ones. So say the Hurricane, you have availability of 12 machine guns, and also rockets as well. That's a lot of firepower, isn't it? Boomerang, that's when you get the availability of cannons as well, and also a variety of machine guns as well. So I think if there's a take-home message to take here, it's the fact that Brits have access to a higher number and also more powerful weaponry earlier on than the Germans. What are the other factions like? Well, I'm not really here to talk about the other factions because I don't really have the authority or experience to actually talk about them at the moment. Maybe I'll do it in a future video, okay? So that's what they're like at the moment, and you can't really tell about the maneuverability on these planes until you actually go ahead and fly them. So what I think we'll do is we'll just jump into a game right now, shall we? Let's go ahead and do it, because I think there's one plane, especially these HE-112s, that I think live in a little bit of infamy. Especially with me. I think they're almost more like rockets. As soon as you start getting anything over 400 towards 500 kilometers an hour. Yes, this is an arcade battle. If you were reaching that probably in historical battles, probably your wings would rip off. But since this is an arcade battle, your wings can't rip off. When you start getting to 400, 500, you have so much airflow going over you. It's nigh impossible to actually break out of that dive. It becomes almost impossible, and in a way you become essentially a rocket. So the only way you're going to be killing anything is if you got enough distance to actually swoop on up or just crash into somebody. So let's go ahead and take a look at the HE over here. I don't imagine I'm going to do the best at the moment because I just want to demonstrate what these planes are like. What I actually did notice, and I'm going to be splitting this up, this cast into two parts. This cast that you're seeing right now, this part of the cast, is going to be with a commentary, but I'm also going to show you guys a game I had just 15 minutes ago, just before this commentary cast, where I just jumped into some low-tier British planes, and I did very, very well. It's just because the weaponry is so great, you have no trouble moving around. So anyway, we're on domination here. So here we go. I'm in this one HE right now. I'm getting about 500 at the moment, and here we go. Look how hard it is to turn. Maybe it's just me. Maybe the British planes just don't get to 500 kilometers that fast. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I feel like it's so hard to pull out of the dive with these planes, and I'm not actually a stranger of crashing into the ground when I've actually been diving too fast. So here's my one single cannon being fired. My one single cannon, mind you. One single. I'll put my flaps on, and it's taken ages to shoot down this guy. And I know I'm going to crash because I don't have any speed, but now I'm getting out of that. Where is that guy? Is he dead? I think he just killed himself, did he? Or was he shot down by a light tank? Oh, wait. I'm just getting a bit disoriented here. So that's my one little cannon. That's my one hope of doing anything. We already got kamikaze people. Wonder if he was in a Japanese plane. Alright, here we go. We got a guy coming straight on. Gonna engage him at 1 kilometer, and now I'm just gonna pull out. I'm not even gonna bother going straight on because far too many times have I collided with people straight on. So, fair enough. You got one cannon with you in this plane, and cannons are powerful. They definitely are powerful, but it's one cannon. It's hard to make a difference in this, especially when you're in a higher tier game. And we've seen bowfighters so far in this game, so, you know, one cannon against a bowfighter, unless you're going to get some sort of critical shots going here, it's going to be quite difficult to do anything. Yeah, very hard to pull out of that. Jeez, if I was going in a bit faster, I would have just crashed right into the ground. That was only 300. So I've got one single burst round. You can notice this. Yeah, he's gone. But you notice how there's a big gap between the shots. It's not a huge gap, but it's big enough where your opponent can actually get between the actual shots. Okay, Krebs, you got one kill. I can't believe this. How the hell am I at the top of the leaderboards? I suppose it's just early on in the game right now. But I'm at the top against a Spitfighter and Bowfighters? Okay. Or Spitfire. Another irritating thing about it is the reload time. Because it's a cannon, your reload times are longer. But it seems almost ridiculous. One cannon, and it takes me essentially 39 seconds to reload. It's a single cannon. Obviously you can improve when you have a better crew. I'm gonna go for this Hellcat. I think he's a little bit annoying. Getting a few shots out on me. I'm not really keen on that. Yeah. I think we needed some revenge, didn't we, guys? See if anybody gets this. See if anybody gets it! Wow. I think that's what you call a kill steal. That's frustrating. And that's why I tend to actually try to finish off. Whenever I set somebody on fire, I will keep on going for them. Unless there's nobody beside me. Then I won't even bother. But if there is somebody beside me on my team, I'm still going to go for them and just try to finish them off. Because far too many times, somebody has actually finished off my, when I've criticaled somebody. And they set them on fire. We've got somebody coming on around me. Let's try turning around. I think I've got my flaps on combat. Yeah, that's it. I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but I actually feel like when I'm flying this HE, I actually fly better when I have a damaged wing. It sounds very strange to say that, but I feel like, in a way, it almost compensates for the lack of maneuverability that you have. Yeah, kind of strange to think that having a damaged wing makes you fly better. Yeah, let's turn around here. And let's get behind this guy. Some people have asked, been saying to me, why don't you try to save your ammo until you get to about 700 or about 300, 400 kilometers, and then, or not kilometers, that'd be ridiculous, 300, 400 meters, and then fire. Well, to be honest with you guys, I think there's different ways of playing this game, and when you're comparing arcade and historical battles, I definitely agree you should try to save your ammo until you get closer to your opponent. But in arcade battles, I would say I would actually be an advocate of saying, as soon as you see that cursor at 700, the aimer, I'm down. At that aimer at 700, just get your shots off. I feel like there's a lot of times where I've gotten plenty of kills. Oh, I got shot by an AA. Where I've got plenty of kills at 700 meters. And there's actually a really big reason why I prefer doing that than preserving my ammo until I'm closer to them at 300, 400. I understand this whole aspect about getting the surprise on your enemy. Trust me, getting surprised on your enemy is always a good thing. But if your enemy's looking around, they can easily just spot you coming at them. But the reason why I also like engaging at 700 meters is simply because if they try to pivot, if they try to swivel and dodge your attacks, you're not gonna have to compensate as much. You're not gonna have to be as sensitive with your controls to adjust along their new trajectory, their new flight path. Whereas if they're 300 meters in front of you and they're swiveling around everywhere, you can definitely bet that you're gonna be swiveling around like crazy, trying to keep up with them, and in a way that actually might make you lose more ammo and not hit them. So it can really go both ways. Anyway, working with a few guns here, trying to take down this one bomber. I almost feel like it's a bit pointless in a way, trying to take on one of these gigantic planes, because it is so difficult to actually destroy them. If anything, try to go for the wings. He is slow as heck. He is really slow. Okay, let's go around again. And I think we'll go for this JU-87. Finish him off. Please finish him off. There we go. Should we go for the PBY? What else is flying around me? SU-2, he's long gone. PBY is just flying away. Just knows that his teammate had to sacrifice himself in order for him to survive. What is he doing? He just killed himself! Did he kill himself? Yeah, PBY has crashed. That's pretty funny. Okay, here we go. On to P-26. Surprisingly doing better than I thought I would. And I actually have noticed that I do better when I'm playing British planes. I get higher kills. I suppose then again I'm also in a higher match right now. You can't expect a lot of kills. I mean, I'm using low tiers, right? Here comes Pea Shooter doing the exact wrong thing, trying to land when there's about 4 guys on him, on his 6. Probably one of the worst things you could actually do. Okay, MG is restored. I know you guys have been saying to me, Krebs, you need to press Y more often, you need to reload, and it's something I have been trying to do. What I wish they did have in this game is an actual counter that showed you, oh, for example, you have 200 bullets out of 1,200 left, rather than when you start nearing the end of your magazine or the end of your bullet amount, then it starts appearing. It's a bit frustrating. Otherwise, I think I would be reloading a lot quicker. I do realize these things, guys. I do realize these things. And I think it's easier in your perspective, when you're actually watching a game afterwards, somebody else playing, to easily critique them. Trust me, when I watch my own replays, I'm just saying to myself, why didn't I reload faster? Why didn't I reload just then? I had plenty of time to do it. How could I have not noticed? Anyway, so I-16 over here. He's flying away. And we've got a lag coming on up to try to get the Spitfire. I'm gonna go for him. Always remember, I am a low tier in a higher tier match. It's gonna be harder for me to actually kill this stuff. Got a shot off critical on his tank, which is a good start. Finally, there we go. Do we have anyone on a 6? Oh, we've got somebody behind us, which might be nice to try to go for him. I'm not even gonna bother. Whenever you see somebody coming at you, just don't even bother. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Just not enough speed. That's not enough speed. As soon as you start making a turn, you don't have enough speed. It just goes downhill. Okay, so that's my 2 HEs gone. Let's head on into the G50 over here. These planes are a little bit unique. Is this the right one I'm thinking of? Yeah. What you'll notice when you're playing German low tiers is that they have a little bit of a unique machine gun. It's one that shoots a burst fire round at 2 MG burst fires at a time. And you'll notice this when I'm start to engage the enemies here. I am quite contradicted about what to think about it. It can be powerful, but at the same time, do you remember how I was using that one single cannon at the beginning? It can be powerful, but it leaves a big gap between every burst. And so you can easily miss your opponent. Alright, I'll go help my guy here, who looks like he's got somebody on the 6. Instead he's crashed. Alright, that's one way for somebody to be taken down. These planes aren't so bad. The G50, you can see I'm a higher speed and I can maneuver around just about fine. But it's the HEs that really have a problem with maneuvering, and I think if you ever play those planes, you'll definitely feel it. You definitely feel like as soon as you got some speed, it's hard to turn. And as soon as you start turning, you lose a lot of speed. I'll go try to help out my PBY over here. It looks like he's being tailed by this one OS2U. Just helping out my teammates right now. 4 kills, Beaufort, Spitfire leading. So, engaging from a far away distance. And I'm almost jammed my gun there. I don't purposely jam my gun. I do actually, if you don't believe it or not, I do actually use burst fires. I just do it very, very rapidly, okay? I click very rapidly when I'm doing my burst fires. I don't really bother that much in this plane, because it fires basically, 2 rounds at a time. Oh dear, we've got a few guys on us. And is there help around here? Am I just gonna have to fly in circles until somebody comes to help me? Alright, I'll start heading on this Havoc over here. See, somebody has to be the cheese, and then I've got to kill these mice who are on the tail. Let's see if I can get this Havoc. Havoc's a bit of a funny plane. It's an attacker. But he's going to start hitting me from behind, and I'd prefer to actually get under him. Is that somebody behind me? I think it is. Let's back off for a bit. Okay, I guess it's too late. And there we go. Another frustrating thing about this plane, lack of ammo. Because it fires two at a time, it's just you'll find that your ammo runs out really fast. Okay, so we'll go in another G50 over here. Another thing I need to do is pull down my, or take down my fuel amount. I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry guys. A few of you have been asking me and actually recommending me, Krebs, you need to take down your fuel. In arcade battles you don't actually use fuel. However, if you run out of fuel completely, like from a fuel leak, then you'll crash. But I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to do it. I'm sorry. It's just my newbiness ignorance. Okay, let's get back into the fight here. I don't think I'm doing too bad with just using level, what, 2, 1 reserve planes against some higher tier planes. I don't think that's too bad. But I do hear that, and just also from my experience, that when the Germans get some higher tier planes, it does even out a lot. Okay, well, let's head on over to B, where it looks like a lot of the action's going on. It seems like a lot of their team has been wasted. You can see a lot of grayed out people, a lot of parachutes. And I imagine this is going to be a win for us. In fact, if we've captured both airfields, it's most likely due to their lack of own planes. I'm feeling this MC-200. Is he going to be going in for a sneak landing? I'll start slowing down right now. Put on my flaps. My combat mode. And start engaging from here. I don't know if you hate it. If you hate me engaging from so far away, then I'm sorry. But look at that. See, I just feel like that... Oh my god, I think he just got somebody, didn't he? Oh dear, poor guy. I feel like engaging from far distance gives you time to close in. Make some damage from far away, then when you close in, you'll have already done quite a bit of damage to him. And I feel like that contributes a lot to getting kills. Alright, okay. There we go. That's one guy down. I guess I must have made a big hole in his wing and he couldn't effectively turn. So we got Beaufort still in the sky. Third place at the moment in Tier 2. Tier 2 plane? Or was it Tier 1? I can't even remember. My ignorance coming in here. I'm still a newbie, guys. I've only been playing this game for about a week and a half now. But I feel like I'm getting better all the time. I'm starting to use my flaps more often. You're supposed to use your raised flaps when you're going in a straight line, when you need to gain speed, and you're supposed to use your combat flaps when you're trying to maneuver. Okay, so Beaufort going to be getting away from me most likely. I don't imagine I'll be able to catch up to him. And yeah, I'm just going to fire at him. Okay, we won anyway, by points. It's cool with me. Waiting for results. Okay. So that was Krebs using some higher tier-ish planes of the low tiers. Going 3 for 7. It's okay, but I don't feel like it's that great. I feel like in other planes, I can do a lot better. And what you actually see, I'll show you in the next replay just now. As I was saying earlier on, I'm going to be splitting this video up into 2 parts. One is the commentary, and one is the no commentary. I'll still put text into it. But what you'll notice in this next video is when I'm playing the low tier Brits, that I'm going to be using, let me get the name correct, I don't want to say it wrong here, and have to edit it in the video. I'll be using the Hurricane with the 8 machine guns on it, 8 Browning machine guns, 7.7 millimeters. And I go 7 kills for 1 death in it by itself, okay? I think it makes a huge difference. Maybe it's also the fact that it was a little bit of a lower tier battle. Maybe I was killing some lower tier planes, but I still felt like I had an advantage in it. Okay guys, so this is me for now, and until next time, I'll catch you later. But just hang on and watch this next video with the Brit planes.
captured a zone. We have captured a zone. Captured a zone. The enemy is winning. Keep it up and victory will be ours.
Right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.